Hi, I'm Dr. David Higgins, a pediatrician and preventive medicine specialist who studies how vaccines are delivered. I know there's been a lot of confusion among both parents and providers about whether children should get a COVID-19 vaccine and whether it will even be available this fall. Let me walk you through what happened this week and what it means for families. For 30 years, vaccine recommendations from the CDC and the American Academy of Pediatrics, or AAP, have been nearly identical. But this week, for the first time in decades, the AAP released new vaccine guidance that diverges from the CDC. This comes after major changes by appointed federal health leaders in how the government approves and issues vaccine recommendations. And the biggest difference right now is around COVID-19 vaccines for kids, just as cases are rising again across the US. Here's what the CDC currently says. For children ages 6 months to 17 years who aren't moderately or severely immunocompromised, the CDC leaves vaccination up to shared clinical decision-making. That means the choice is left to a discussion between families and providers, but the vaccine is no longer considered a routine recommendation. The decision to take this approach bypassed the CDC's normal independent review panel. And as you can imagine, it's been confusing for both families and providers. Now, here's how the AAP recommendations differ. They recommend all children 6 to 23 months get the full COVID-19 vaccine series, just as they did in previous years. For kids and teens ages 2 to 18, they now recommend a single dose for those at higher risk. That includes children with chronic conditions, those living in group or long-term care settings, kids who've never been vaccinated, or those who are living with high-risk family members. Importantly, the AAP also supports making vaccines available for any family who wants them for their children. The AAP has actually been issuing vaccine guidance since the 1930s, long before the CDC or its advisory committee existed. And while the two groups have usually agreed, this year the federal government dismissed the CDC's independent expert panel. That raised serious concerns about credibility, and there's a lot of misleading information spreading. So the AAP decided to publish its own recommendations based on a review of the evidence. That review showed COVID-19 remains a real risk for young children and kids with certain conditions. Now, here's the challenge. The AAP's guidance doesn't automatically mean families will have coverage. Insurance plans and the Federal Vaccines for Children program are legally tied to CDC recommendations. So unless insurers or policymakers act, some parents could be left paying out of pocket. So where does this leave us? For now, parents and providers are facing real uncertainty, right as kids are heading back to school. We'll know more after the CDC's advisory committee meets in September or October. In the meantime, the best step parents can take is to talk with their pediatrician about the safest path forward for their children.